We're live.
I think so. Okay.
All right.
I get my notes up because this will be an intense
Yeah, I got some
episode.
notes too.
I'll be curious if you have the same angle as I do with this episode.
But before we jump in, I had a couple things.
Okay.
One was some housekeeping for our audience.
Let's do it.
So everyone, we tried doing a Zoom call last week, and it half worked. Yeah. We learned for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that Levi and I, we're a bunch that learns by doing things and making mistakes.
Welcome to Jiu Jitsu. Just fail
Yeah.
100 times, and then we'll be amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much our style here. We just keep going. So anyways, if you're wondering why we didn't have an episode last week, that's why. No big deal. We're going to keep it rolling here.
Yes.
We got some big things coming in 2024. But okay, next cool thing. So we've done over 20 episodes. I think this is our
20.
This is technically like our 23rd or 4th because we've had some unaired episodes.
Does that mean we have like our first stripe in on a white belt for podcasting?
We might even
Would
be
that be
getting close
20?
to blue belt.
Whoa, that's some
because
confidence.
Listen to this statistic. Listen to this.
Okay, I want to hear it.
90% of podcasts don't make it past 20 episodes.
Did you just read off that, or did you just make that up?
I just read that off. I don't have.
Did you have that as notes?
Yeah, I have it as a note.
Oh, amazing. Okay.
I didn't have a good source on it. I just Googled it real quick.
Yeah,
full disclosure.
You think about that with like, I guess you can make that with any activity that needs consistency. Let's say a guitar or whatever the case may be. Like that makes sense to just be like to 20 classes or 20 times doing something.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big success. That's cool.
Yeah,
I feel good about that.
Yeah, that's something to celebrate. I thought.
What are we going to do when we hit 100 episodes? I think we have to do something really big for our 100th episode.
Have the
do something
DDS B team reunion on this episode.
Yeah, we'll heal some people.
Yeah.
We'll heal the world.
Yeah,
Bill and Ted style.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. So
wow.
Also,
nice.
Some other news on the Grappling podcast crew. So I'm going to be competing next month.
Oh, I was so excited.
Industries.
Matt sent me a screenshot of his sign up. So
yeah, only one other guy right now in the tournament.
Yeah.
So, or in my division, in the no-gi blue belt division, but not oldest man.
You're just master.
Yeah, I was actually pumped to become a masters competitor.
I'm good with that.
It feels like a little more chill, I think.
I don't know if you might get bumped down. I don't know the history of that. If you get bumped down, you might potentially get bumped down to adults. And then I think you just have the option to say, hey, if you don't want to play, if you're chickening out,
I might just go for it anyways. You know what? Actually had a funny moment here in the training studio. Was it last week? Because I haven't been able to train much lately. So it's funny. I haven't been able to train much, so I signed up for
it. It shows.
Yeah, I feel like it. I was the oldest guy in the training room.
Really?
Interesting thing. Yeah, it was just nothing crazy, but it was like, oh,
I'm older than you
by 2-3 months or whatever.
Really?
Like, a couple months. Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, you're 89, right?
Yes,
89. I'm 89 also.
Everyone hates on the fact that I can be like, I'm an 80s child.
Yeah.
We're 80s.
Yeah.
We count.
We totally count.
We're in there.
Yeah. We were babies in there.
I was freaking out when Matt sent me an arcade machine that had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
In time.
My mom has it.
That was so funny. I was like, oh, I'm jazzed.
She's got a bunch of games down there in that basement.
What made her committed to just put a whole bunch of arcade
They found a good deal. Well, so they have a couple Airbnbs, and this one is the theme is game night. So the whole basement's all space for board games and card table. There's multiple arcade games in there.
Is that in town?
Yeah, it's 15 minutes from here. We could go there one of these nights.
I
sent Aaron a screenshot, and he was like, "Dude, we're in." So, and we should rent it.
Yeah, we rent it. Have a movie theater night.
It's my mom, dude. It's my mommy.
I'm glad we're 34 years old to be like, we want to use your basement and just play video games.
Can I show the basement?
I want a LAN party right now. And just
she'd be totally down. She's fine with it.
I need more of those moments.
Yeah. I actually think our moms would probably get along. My mom's super laid back.
Oh, really?
It sounds like she would rock with the Danish culture.
I like that. They're in Denmark right now.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so they've been texting me nonstop. I'm like, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I wish I was there.
It's actually interesting, some of the similarities between our parents in that regard.
Oh, yeah?
Or just our moms from what you've told me.
Mm-hmm.
So my family,
Shout out to my mom if my mom's listening.
Hey, there we go. Shout out to my mom if she's listening. So let's see. My family's been in America on my mom's side, I think, for 5
you sounded like you were in like 1930s for a second. You're like, my family has been in America.
No, but the point is, we actually came over from Germany not crazy long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so interesting, right? Like European cultures.
Yeah.
There's a lot of similarities, and it's just interesting.
It's close to that.
But anyways, are you going to compete next month?
I'm going to try to. No one ever. The last time there was a competition, ADCC Chicago Open was the same weekend. So I think some more of the advanced practitioners were there. I'm going to try. It's not a bad thing. It's like what you were talking with me after you signed up of now you're aligning mental strategies or like mental frameworks of what you would do at a competition. It's funny, I was working with Natalie this morning, and my good friend Lem was talking about, do people get like tunnel vision competing? And they're like arm lock. I'm like, it's actually the opposite. They like think of nothing, and it's just like a buzzing in their sound or buzzing in their ear, and they'll just go for anything. And I'm like, it's almost even better to focus on one thing and just say, I'm hunting this one specific thing. Everything is off your radar except this one thing. Doesn't mean that something naturally would happen, but so I would think I would have to have, I feel like I'm pretty good opening game. You know, the thing I was going to warn you about was, because I've been talking with more competitors here and actually diving more into the rule sets, you can't pull guard without some sort of contact.
I don't really pull, so that's not a problem.
Okay. I'm not one of those people. But it's if you wanted to play like a seated leg game right away.
Which I will someday I will.
But it's like you have to make some sort of contact.
And then you can sit down? You can't just sit down and scoot?
It gets not penalized, some sort of warning. They call it like a minor foul. But the funny part is that
you go for a failed Imanari, failed quotations.
Yeah, failed. I like the Gordon thing of like him just sticking his leg out and then like that to grab it and go. But he's, good enough that he can capitalize on that. But what was weird, it was almost like the next paragraph was talking about you get a minor foul if the stand-up person stands farther than 3 steps back from your guard. If they back up, they get fouled for not engaging the guard.
I should probably read the rule sets. I would have just screwed myself.
This is why I was doing it, because I know sometimes we play things a little bit loose here, or just, I should say, less minor rules. So I didn't want someone to go in a competition and then go, whoa, that's totally okay where we train. And they're like, sorry, this division doesn't do it.
We should do some rounds like that. We should have a comp.
Reaping is just a weird one, too. Reaping is anything with the outside leg coming across the center line of the body.
Ugh, I do a lot of reaping.
Yeah, so this is where the complications of doing like the false reaps or focusing on what we talked about, like ashis and things like that. You have to be careful of that kind of stuff.
We should do some rounds with these rules.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to screw myself. I'm going to DQ myself.
That's the sad part. As a blue, no, okay, I apologize. You don't have to worry about reaping.
Oh, okay, good.
That's only white belts.
Oh, okay, good.
You just don't have heel hooks, but we have a plethora of stuff without heel hooks. But there's no, okay, which actually,
heel hooks is probably the thing I hit the most in the gym, though.
Think about this though. It's actually probably good in a safety wise for you too.
So someone doesn't rip a heel hook.
Yeah, someone doesn't get a heel on you as well.
That's a good point.
Because you don't know the training cultures of different places.
I'm scared now.
Yeah, so you can immerse yourself too. And here's the funny part: you could probably be okay with turning and exposing your heel to escape as well.
Good point. I could be a little sassy about that.
Yeah, you could start turning away from it and just
411's not as devastating of a spot anymore though. Because unless you can get the clover leaf, and it's hard to get.
Without the double trouble. Yeah, I can't remember who I was talking to about that, but just the fact that like you have to get that with the collection. If it's disconnected, good luck trying to find it.
Yeah.
Did we have a theme today?
Yeah, we do. And we'll talk more about our competition after we go. You should just sign up and just make it happen.
I should.
You should do it.
I should just do it.
Jordan's going down. It'll be a fun day.
It should be a fun day.
My wife is watching my kiddos. My wife is coming down. My mom is watching the kiddos. So it's actually, we could go to dinner or something afterward.
It's weird because you wonder like how long those days get. It's going to be shorter because we're focusing on Nogi stuff, but yeah, it'll be interesting with sessions like that. I think it's usually closer towards the end of the day. What did it get wrapped up last time for? It was
4 o'clock.
Insane. I'm sorry,
cool.
Grappling Industries, but the past history has been like 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. and things like that.
Good on them.
I don't know how they did it, but they worked a really good
they kept things moving.
Format, yeah. And everything was closing up shop pretty well, too, near the end as well.
Yeah, they were fast.
Yeah.
Very efficient.
Like
Shout out to Grappling Industries.
Yay.
They were cool, and everybody was really cool. They came to say hello.
Good stuff.
Okay, so our theme today
yes
is our Halloween special.
Whoa.
Ooh, first Jiu Jitsu podcast to have a Halloween special, to my knowledge. I didn't do any research, but I'm just guessing.
That's way too funny.
Did you ever have any scary movies that, when you were a kiddo, that you watched too soon and it freaked you out too much?
Not so much scary movies, but it was the doll from the Goosebumps.
Oh, Slappy.
Yeah. I don't even know his name. So it freaked me out. I think it was an episode of what's that show with what?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Goosebumps?
Not Goosebumps. It was the one with Steve Urkel.
Family Matters or whatever?
Family Matters, I think, or whatever. It had some sort of like living doll thing.
Really?
It just freaked me out.
Isn't it
completely.
Funny how some of those things get you?
Yeah. I spent too many years as a young kid watching The Door when I slept. because of that.
Isn't that funny how
Just
that stuff gets you?
Some weird little thing. So I have a very minor fear of like lifelike dolls.
I think they're weird. Don't worry, you're not alone. I think they're
It's
weird.
creepy.
I don't like them looking at me.
And I
turn them around.
I try to refine the fear a little bit. It's not so much that, I mean, it's freaky, but I think it's more the idea that if you were to say like you saw something move or did something, that no one would believe you. Like that's freaky too. To be like, hey, whatever this thing is. Oh yeah, sure. And then I think there was a Twilight Zone episode about that. Some doll that was like kind of pseudo killing people, and
there was
believing them.
The Boy or whatever it was called. There was a movie on that a couple of years ago.
Okay, let's not talk about this anymore.
I was gonna say
I had a fear for a while of walking fish.
Walking fish?
They should be outside of the water. I had a horrible nightmare when I was a kid. That was like, it was one of those dreams where like you're running, but you can't run, like you're in slow motion. And I lived on the Fox River at the time, and I just remember this horrendous looking fish walking out of the water coming towards me. And it just freaked me.
Fox River, that's believable.
Yeah. That's a believable fear.
Yeah. That actually happened. That's a memory, Levi.
That's a real thing. Sorry. That was repressed memory. It was a dream.
Van Steppen family.
No, thank
got
you.
Attacked by a walking fish today.
It grossed me out. So those are the two ones that, for me, stick out if someone were asking me about my fears.
Mine was my dad let me watch The Shining when I was in like 3rd grade.
Ooh, ouch.
That messed me up, man. That messed me up. You know what? The one that was the scariest too? The bathroom scene with that lady in the tub. That?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I spent years when I showered, like looking around abruptly. Every time I opened the shower curtain, I was like, okay.
Closing your eyes in the shower.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Keep them open. I need to be able to fight.
No, but I'm saying you can't like close your eyes. Like it's
no.
Put soap in your hair and just quick look. There's some other movie that had a freaky one too of stepping over the edge of the bed too, like, something gets you underneath the bed.
One that was shocking was Darkness Falls. Okay. Remember the beginning of that movie? It just has such an abrupt,
I don't remember that movie.
Part to it where I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah.
What's that about?
It's like the Tooth Fairy's evil.
That's a silly name for a movie. Darkness Falls.
Check it out.
Okay, yeah, darkness happens.
I saw this years ago. I think it's got Mark Ruffalo in it, honestly.
So the Tooth Fairy becomes evil?
Oh, the Tooth Fairy is, if you see it, it gets you.
Oh. If you see the Tooth Fairy, it gets you?
It uses the teeth for things. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to look up.
That reminds me, the only time I can think of the evil Tooth Fairy is one of the best movies of all time, which is Hellboy 2.
Hellboy 2 is awesome.
Yeah.
I own that movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's one of if I was the president of the world, one of my top 20 things is for Guillermo del Toro, whatever, to make a 3rd Hellboy movie.
Yeah.
It needs to happen.
The Golden Army.
Yeah, the Golden Army.
I love it. Prince Nuada.
Yeah.
That dude was BA.
Oh, so good.
By the way, I was wrong. It's actually Kyle Wall. Kyle Wall. Not
don't.
Yep, don't know who he is. Anyways,
creepy.
5 out of 10 movie. It was just a creepy movie.
It is creepy when you think about it. If a fairy comes into your house and grabs your teeth.
And it lives in the dark. You can't come into the light. It's actually a neat idea. I don't know. Check it out sometime if you want. But okay, first, so now everyone, we're not just going to talk about Halloween stuff for the
Sounds like more of a psychology episode about our...
So we're actually going to be talking about, Levi and I each created 3 funky questions to ask each other that are Halloween Jiu Jitsu themed or Halloween grappling themed.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw the first one at you.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, let's go for it.
If you were stuck in a spooky house with the Scream guy,
okay,
what grappling move, if you could only use one, would you use to beat him?
Okay.
Remember the Scream guy?
Yeah.
Wearing the black robe thing, the white Scream mask, and he's got a butcher's knife.
Oh my gosh. I'd probably use the Jim Carrey Krav Maga knife block.
What?
To say words, block the knife coming through. No, he's standing. So the best thing you could probably do is like a snap down on him.
A snap down?
And get around his back kind of thing.
Okay.
If you're talking about like a move.
Yeah.
Like I probably would not want to double leg him because he's got hands free.
And he's got a knife.
Yeah.
Remember, he'll just stab you.
I remember I had a friend that I did some knife work with. He was like obsessed about knife self-defense. And a lot of it was like having full control over that knife and like basically bringing it down to the ground. Of both hands to that knife and just watching it and tracking it.
You ever done simulated knife fighting?
Not really. It's a different conversation for me. It's just like, I feel like things would be a lot different if there was a real knife. It was interesting because he wouldn't go like light with it. He'd take a fake knife and act like he was going to jam it into your stomach. So it became like really, and he would do it randomly. Not like super random like we'd be in training mode, but he would just lunge and everything goes quick instincts of everything holds that knife. There isn't like, all right, I'm going to come overhead with this and I'm going to grab this. Just go. And suddenly like your adrenaline hits and you're just having full control of that knife. I remember some stat that said never trust someone that's been over been in over 5 knife fights?
Because they're a liar?
What's the odds of surviving 5
Yeah.
knife fights
Yeah.
without, what was the thing, like one person goes to the hospital, one person goes to the graveyard?
Yeah.
In one kind of those situations. It's
True.
like, come
I've
on.
done a simulated knife fight.
Was it like those shocker knives kind of things?
So actually, what we did is a buddy of mine in high school and we both wore white shirts.
Oh, the marker situation.
And then, we had really fat, like, Sharpie markers
God, those
that
things
were
are
red.
deadly.
And because we're like, okay, this is light. If you had a small knife,
Yeah.
and we were just like, and it actually started out as just like us being silly.
Mm-hmm.
But then we like quickly realized we were like, dude, we would both die like within 5 seconds.
Oh,
Both
that's
of
true.
us, within a couple seconds, we came at each other. We were trying not to get hit and trying to get them.
Yeah.
Your arms immediately are cut up.
Oh, sure.
We both literally essentially bridged the distance and killed each other,
So,
and we both would have been dead.
I remember hearing a stat that said, not stat, but like an idea was that if you know someone has a knife in it, let's say you're in a restaurant and for some reason they're like, I've got a knife and I'm going to take everyone hostage or whatever, and you had to confront this guy, to take a coat or a shirt.
Use a gun.
Yeah, use reminder that yourself that you have a gun. But to wrap around one forearm was to like wrap it deep and then use that as the blocker and basically to close the distance
Better
a little
than
bit.
nothing.
Like to have a shield. Basically it creates a simulated shield on your arm.
I'd hit him with a chair.
It's just
Everybody grab a chair.
It makes sense.
One lunatic with a knife.
And that's what actually my friend was saying, that he said people get so focused on the thing versus getting good at looking what's around you. So if someone's there, grab a cloth, like you said, grab a chair, like use objects to your advantage.
Watch more Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah. Jackie Chan, was there that funny meme whereas there's like one of the best Jackie Chan scenes of all time. Like he's using the ladder and like fighting the guys with the ladder.
Good.
He's making
that
it good.
So good.
And then the next clip was a kid at a martial arts tournament and he was doing a ladder kata. That's no joke. That's 100% fact.
That's awesome.
That he was using a ladder and he's going, like, obviously saw the movie or whatever, but it was just amazing to be like, there's a little bit of a difference. So, yeah, I would use a
step down
and bring him down and then go around his back and heel hook him. Not what you're expecting.
Here's mine.
What?
I'd use a key lock.
That's the same thing. You block and grab. And
no, I would go for it. First off, I'm not making the assumption he sees me. I'm hiding.
Oh.
He's walking around the house.
Oh, you're scarier than him.
I got to sneak up.
I was assuming he'd get me.
Yeah. Obviously, the better thing would be to grab a better weapon, but pretend you can't.
Yeah.
I'd go for a key lock because if you think about it, you have control of their upper body and the knife is facing towards him.
Yeah, that's true.
Assuming your attacker's a male.
Yeah, I've seen enough. Not enough, but like I've seen plenty of knife self-defense stuff. Someone's got a knife around your throat from the back.
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you do?
You're going to die there is what's going to happen.
I love so much those memes where it's like someone shows a self-defense one and then they do it and right before it happens, like they're looking around and they're in heaven.
Yeah.
Oh, what just happened there?
You don't win a knife fight.
A key lock. I like that.
All right. Okay. What's your?
This is a different angle.
Okay.
So during a full moon, if your grappling abilities were enhanced, but so were your opponents, what techniques would you rely on?
We're both better.
Yeah.
We're both enhanced.
But I would say, let's say something specific. You both have the same, you can choose one ability to enhance, but your opponent would have the same ability enhanced.
Like you both are better at X technique?
Yes.
Okay. It's not like you're both like stronger, faster, things like that? Okay. You essentially have world-class skill in this one technique.
You both get it.
Let me think here.
It depends on, you can take multiple angles, whether you want to use it offensively or have them tank on one thing, or you feel like you'd be better at it.
Ooh. We're both really good at a technique.
Yeah.
Whatever I choose, he's good at too?
Yes.
Are we both of equal skill levels and other things?
You both can have randomized skill levels,
okay.
But you basically just have one person. Let's say another blue belt, for example, because you're a blue belt. So let's say someone else, but you both get like super powered in one area.
He's a blue belt too?
Yeah.
Same weight?
Yeah. Yes, same weight.
Okay, here's one strategy.
Yes.
I'm going to pick a useless move.
I know.
That you'll never get. Or not a useless move, but just one that's really hard to get to.
What would be useless? What would be harder?
No, it's not useless. It's actually a good move, but really hard to get to. A tricoplata. Because then I'm making the assumption that I'm better than he is in general at Jiu Jitsu, and then it negates it.
Gotcha.
Because if I give him an RNC, a lot of people are actually decent at getting to the back by then.
Guess what? That was going to be my choice.
RNC?
Because then if he's on your back, then that's it. So at least it's final. So at least you can start defending your back. And if you get their back, then it's game over for you. like in a good way. And it's tough.
That one is tricky.
Or you play guard retention, and then he has to engage, or you both sit on the ground.
You both do guard retention.
for guard retention, like, come on,
funny.
get me, bro.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I got some ideas like that.
That's an interesting one. Okay, here's one for you.
Okay.
Who's the worst spooky/movie character to verse in grappling?
A spookiest?
Like the worst, just a verse. Like you have to verse a spooky movie monster character.
Yeah, and then I can take them.
You have to fight them.
Oh,
There's no
I get
guarantee
to choose
you're
one.
gonna win. You're probably
And
gonna
they're
lose.
spooky.
Worst one to fight.
Oh, the worst one? The Chucky doll.
A Chucky doll.
I just would scream. Oh, yeah.
It is a human-like doll too.
Yeah, I would not like that. That's like a nightmare right there. I couldn't.
Yeah. How
I
are you
couldn't
gonna
do it.
armbar him? He'll bite you.
Yeah. I would not like that. That would be the spookiest thing. What if something like The Thing? Isn't there's like a blob or something like
that's
that?
Tough. That's
it's like there's nothing to grab at that point. Yeah, I would say if it was like a humanoid type creature, I think the Chucky doll would be, because then they're smaller too, and I'd be more apt to want to punt it or something like that. Ugh, I don't want to talk about this. I hate that we decided to do a Halloween episode now. Okay, well, how about you? Which one would you
not want to fight?
Yeah, not want to fight.
Probably a ghost. I can't grab.
Okay,
ghosts get the rules of, like, they get to touch you.
So they can be,
yeah,
they can go through and like you take their back and they would just morph behind you and take your back.
Yeah, you can't beat a ghost.
You'd have to do some sort of honor code thing, have it sign some sort of contract with its soul.
Honestly, though, all of them would suck to fight. If you think about it, the answer here is Jiu Jitsu's not the answer if you're stuck in a horror movie.
What if you fought like,
except for maybe against
a werewolf?
You'd die.
But then you'd have to survive. You'd have to survive long enough to where it's daylight or something.
I'd run away.
That was your example in the gladiator bed. It's just like, I've got unlimited time. Good. I will wait until he sleeps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think our audience ever heard the scenario.
I will stay up as long as possible.
Yeah, we were talking about how do you win an infinite time match, but it's to the death. The answer is you run away from to fall asleep, and then you come get them in their sleep.
It's so bad. That reminds me of like the castle scenario, right? Where it's like the castle's, you can't get in, and you just basically block off all their ability to get food.
Yeah.
And just starve them out, kind of thing. Like attrition warfare. That's so funny.
Yeah, I thought a ghost would be really bad. But it'd be funny if you couldn't get turned into a zombie. Would be a great training partner. You could just let it rip.
I would
snap.
I would for sure watch a modern day grappling competition if that's what the case was, like unlimited. And it's like, I'm just watching them. Oh no, like Gordon Ryan or something.
They do unlimited time limit.
No, but it's unlimited. But they're like working. But to have full, like, you guys are locked in a room
this becomes a ghost in the grave, or like capture the flag, but it like never ends kind of thing. Like,
there's some weird limitations of that.
This would be like Saw level stuff.
I've never seen a Saw movie.
Well, the first one was okay.
Yeah.
The rest, I am personally like, meh. I actually, funny enough, we're talking about scary movies. I actually don't like spooky movies that much. I don't think they're bad. They're just not my jam.
Have you ever watched Bill and Ted?
Oh, I love Bill and Ted.
Okay. You know
my
how
dog was named Rufus, dude.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Nice. Like how they challenge death to a game.
Yeah, and they do a Twister.
Would you have a game you challenge death to?
Oh. See, what game did they win? Because they did Twister, they did Scrabble, right?
They kept winning, and then death kept re-challenging them.
Did they do like a music battle too?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I guess I'm probably a game. I get to define the game?
Yeah. I think someone had some Reddit posts a long time ago.
Whoever's alive.
Like that.
The game of being alive.
Someone was like, you just have a coin or flip a coin. Then it's exactly 50-50.
I would make a game that's called the live game. And whoever's alive right now wins. And then I just won.
I call this game Whoever's Not Death. Whoever's Not Death wins.
Yep, there we go. I got to define it, right?
That's funny.
Why am I being chivalrous?
You'd be the worst person for a genie to come across. I think you would find the most loopholes.
Have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I heard that was a really good show.
The movie's good too. It's different.
There's a movie?
Different. Yeah. The movie came first. It's funny. It's worth watching. The show is actually similar theme, but actually like different characters and stuff. And in the show, they end up having a genie, and they end up having he's like an attorney essentially.
Oh,
and so
I
like
could see that.
they're like going through all these things because all the things have a twist.
Sure. It's like a
So
monkey's paw type thing.
yeah, and so, like, it's really funny. So they're, like, there for hours, and he's
Yeah.
like, they're, like, going through all the clauses, and they're like, "Wait, what about this?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I almost got you there." It's really good. It's not appropriate, so I
So
can't share.
imagine if
But
you had that ability, like a genie, you had an option, but you had to like really like go through everything before it's like sign on the dotted line.
you might need to spend 2 wishes for 1.
It's funny because it's not
Where you say,
it's not a real thing, but in our land of make believe of D&D, Avernus and like the nine hells, there's opportunities that come along where you could make deals with devils and demons.
"Ooh,
And it's like John Constantine-esque stuff where it's, yeah,
love
you make a deal
Constantine."
or contract, but there's stipulations and things like that. So it's, yeah, we'll help you, but your soul is mine if X things. And I've heard of so many D&D parties literally having to read over rules and be like, are you sure? Here's this contract. You get this thing, but I'm not sure if it's devils. I think it's devils that do the contract, not demons. But just things like that where it's you get this trade-off. Imagine if you had a genie that was like, I'll give you, I guess that's one of our, we'll do another question
Yeah.
about that. That's why I was thinking about the genie stuff. Okay, what did we just do? We did mine.
A spooky movie. It was
Oh,
one
that was
I
you.
said, yeah.
And then
And then
did
we were
you give an
talking about-
answer?
I said a ghost.
Oh, ghosts. That's right. Ghosts. Okay. I said a djinn, but it's basically a genie. A djinn grants you a wish. You can execute one submission flawlessly every time, but in return, you're susceptible to another specific submission. Which would you choose for both? So, like, you're susceptible to something.
Mm.
I had a really funny one, and I realized this is Matt's situation anyways.
So I'm susceptible
You're-
when
it's like an
executing this, or
No,
just in
you're-
general, you're just
If
your
someone
defense for
if
it's
someone grabs
garbage.
you with it, you're like, oh, I'm just horrible at this, and they'll tap you or get you with it every single time.
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
I'd rather be susceptible to a ham sandwich.
Okay.
Because that's not just going to wreck
Ow.
my body.
Sure.
It's painful, but also it's a pain to get to.
I wonder what susceptible means. Like, it's low grade effort to catch it.
I want to say, I was thinking like my defense for it sucks. But then on the attacking side,
Mm.
I probably want an RNC.
Yeah.
The RNC is just, it's the king of subs in my eyes because you can just put so much horsepower there. You can put someone out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd want to have just a ridiculous rear naked choke.
That's a good. We're doing a ton of rear naked choke stuff tomorrow for class.
Nice. Good. I need
and
it.
deep diving rear naked choke stuff. I got some really good material.
What about for you?
If I was susceptible to something, I think it would have to be something very deep. It'd be specific, but let's say like an Americana for mount. I don't know. I'd rather have something. I'd rather be susceptible to. I think what we talked about before. I don't know why I'm using it now. Like a rear naked choke, because I think rear naked choke is one of the rare submissions that like you have to actually get to an advanced position in order to pull it off. So I think if you get that on me, then I'm already screwed because of how good of a position it could be. But I think it'd be fun to be really good at heel hooks. I think that'd be a good breaker at that point, just to be, starting or whatever to grab heel hooks on people. So I think I'd rather give up. I'd rather have the back be a rear naked choke. Every time they go around my neck, somehow opens. It just happens.
Well, the
to
thing
grab
is,
it.
getting to the back though isn't insanely like impossible. Getting the rear naked choke is actually the hard part.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing though. Someone could
If
get
I
to your
had
back.
to choose, there's a lot of submissions out there. Wants to be susceptible to one thing. It's if you see like wrist locks, your wrists are everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
that's why I picked ham sandwich.
Yeah, ham sandwich.
Dang it! If you get caught in it, it's shoot.
That's true. Jordan had sent me a clip. It was in one fighting championship of someone doing. It's got main names of it. Someone calls it the triangle or the hateful triangle. Was the triangle choke with the leg on the inside?
Oh goodness.
Yeah, he like shared it to me. I'm like, I said it was a thing. It's a real move.
Oh
Just
man,
like, that's just so bad. You
That's
just
rough.
get squished in there. Yeah, I think it's already bad getting beat, but to get beat with something that is just
like a Boston
humiliating kind of thing. Yeah, like not humiliating, but just it's a very low percentage thing. I remember sticking out in my mind when I was in Hunters, when I was watching Hunter compete. His division compete, and some older guy got a younger kid, and basically, what's it called? Kesikatami, like the soul crusher type position, like just grabbed a leg and grabbed the neck and just, I feel so bad for you. Because it's not enough, like in a competition, to like tap to pressure. Like you were kind of like, oh, this is just uncomfortable. Like,
I'm
go
straight
through
up,
it.
I'm straight up tapping to like uncomfortable.
Oh, I know, but just some people like grit out. I'm only tapping when my arm's getting broke or blah blah blah. Like I can grit this out. Like when I had Roy here, he got me in side control. It was insane of the pressure. I'm looking over at Luke, going, I'm actually thinking about tapping right now. It was just another unreal pressure.
We should learn that from him.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. He definitely had a deep arm underneath my back. I was feeling the pressure with it. But
if he can pull it off in no-gi the same.
In no-gi? Oh, that's true.
Because actually, funny enough, the guy I rolled when Roy Dean and his crew, some of the crew from Chris Makuta's school was here.
Yeah.
One of the guys who I rolled with, he got me in side control, and his pressure was ridiculous.
Was he about the same size?
I think he might have even been a little bit lighter than me, honestly.
Oh, that's so fun.
It was the most pressure I've ever felt in side control.
Wow.
Most ever. It was insane. Like,
Yeah.
it was like hard to breathe. And I've never tapped to that type of thing. And I was in the same boat where I was like, is this worth tapping to?
I feel like we need to invent another style of jiu-jitsu. I'm just saying that.
Submit by pressure?
No, some sort of extra material, extra item thrown in.
You're
Just think about it. We just have we basically go to the point where we have clothing on. That's like the most,
Yeah, we're just not naked.
We're just basically very.
I wear my short shorts and my rest guard.
Short shorts, yeah. But to say like we don't have any extra tools, it's just our hands and our legs and doing the work.
Like it like that.
Yeah, versus the gi, you have all these extra handles, which makes it's like a whole full moon thing. Like it makes them have the options too. But I'm like, there's got to be like something else that like could make it very interesting. Grappling, still with submissions, but you got something else. Yeah, so Jill always made the joke with one of her friends that she was gonna catch him somewhere sometime and do like a bag over the head type thing because we were watching John Wick, and John Wick, like someone like he had grabbed somebody behind the back quickly and just was trying to make him paranoid. Like at some time we would grab you. Yeah, with a bag. I was saying the belt. I was saying just having the belt. How cool would that be? Like, would you drop it right away? Would you quick go grab it, or would there be a shared belt in between the two of you?
You start tug of war.
Yeah, to grab it and use it against you, and like how quickly would it go away, or how frequently would it be used, or
wasn't there a guy on YouTube? I haven't watched.
Yeah,
it, but
there was one I know.
He had it was like the Ultimate Self-Defense Championship where they have specialists and generalists, and they put in scenarios where they have to fight on a bus. Or it actually sounded cool.
Reminds me of like the card jitsu stuff. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, you showed me a video.
Oh, it's so funny.
But yeah, imagine this. Yeah, you have to fight on a bus. You have to they had a bunch of scenarios. There was one they had to be not caught, but they were in a warehouse.
What's the most compromised spot you'd be willing to do a jiu-jitsu match? See how I phrased that? Now pick any spot. I said put yourself in probably the second to worst position you'd want to be in, or place you'd want to be in. How tight of a situation.
You give me an example.
I don't know why I thought a warehouse. I don't know. Random items and boxes, and I don't know. It'd have to be like something where think about Street Fighter. Oh, there's like a fish market. You'd have to go somewhere like it's not just flat ground, like at a pool.
I would say a really bad spot would be a foundry.
Would that be weird? A pool?
There's molten metal.
Imagine a pool.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about that. Wrestling in the water. That could get dangerous.
But that would be weird. Imagine you're choking someone underwater. That'd be weird. I feel like that would be like international waters type stuff. To be like, gotta do something like really crazy. But people fight in the car. But I think they use the seatbelts. They try to use the seatbelt too.
Yeah, they can do that. I'm not into that.
I think that's so far out compared to just saying, why can't we have two people with a belt? But I think that works very well for like viralness. Like they're fighting in a car. Yeah. People are going to watch. Like, do you ever watch any of like the slap stuff?
5 seconds of it. I saw it and I was like, yep, they're slapping each other.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't my thing. My YouTube is full of, let's see.
Magic tricks, that's right.
I like magic tricks. I think they're fun. Some people are really like creative with them.
Do you have a favorite magician? It's Halloween themed. It's magic.
Yeah. Actually, that guy I sent you, I don't know his name, but he's really cool.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
I knew one trick, and I can't do it now because I have a can I'm drinking. But it was Chris Angel, and Chris Angel had a DVD that I bought that was like how to get a signed coin inside a sealed can.
I saw a guy botch that once, and that's how I saw how you do it.
Oh, how you do it?
You essentially slide it as you're opening it.
Okay, Matt, spoiler of all magic things.
I actually have spoiled magic before.
It was so cool though, because you literally take the coin, and you go like this, like it's in.
He's so smooth at it.
And then you go, and then the idea was like to angle it like this and shake and have it underneath it so people hear there's a coin in there. And then you have to like basically palm it, and then it fits perfectly into this as you open it up. But then what happens is you pour it out. That it's stuck in there. It doesn't like it said you can only perfectly put it in when you open it. So it's like you can't like do anything else basically at that point. But all things magic. I tried to do. David Blaine had one when I was a kid. Like he would do like his like levitation type stuff. And he's sitting like would levitate, and then people would freak out in like street corners. And then, yeah, I would try to do it with my, actually, of all people, my Danish grandma. And she's like, ooh, that looks so cool. But I'm obviously like botching the angle of making it look just completely natural. And it's, yeah, she was super sweet. And I was like, ooh, this is
Shout
cool.
out to grandparents being great.
I did a magic act for my 6th grade talent show. And the whole bit was my friend Rick having to shuffle the cards and put the card we put in the deck on top. That was his only goal, and he botched it. So somehow I came away with it working at the end, but it was like something of going back in time and, yeah, like choosing a card and things like that. But
so there's actually like special decks for different tricks.
Okay.
And my buddy and I, we actually had a couple, and we bought it from the magic shop downtown Appleton. This was like 15 years ago almost. Actually, it might have even more than 15 years. And I actually figured out one, and they gave us a discount when we got it. And
it was like some sort of deal if you figured it out?
I was just like, wait a minute, I think I figured it out, because he was showing us a magic trick, and he's like, actually, have you seen this before? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And what actually helped me learn it?
What's that?
In the episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, somebody does this trick, and they have this thing. Essentially, you have missized cards. And I was like, that looks really similar to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Episode I saw.
Funny.
I didn't know it was a magic trick.
Yeah.
It was this guy cheating is essentially what it was.
Oh, because you could be very sensitive to the cards, yeah.
I can actually show you, because you always go one small, one big, one small, one big, one small, one big.
Yeah.
If you fan it one way, it looks the right. If you fan it the other way, you'll always get the card you want.
Oh.
But anyways, so here, next question.
I love magic and then hate when like you figure it out. What's fun with Jiu Jitsu? It doesn't work that way. If there's something cool and then someone tells you, it's even more cool.
That's true, actually. They're like, no, wait, it is real magic.
It's not, oh, that was stupid.
Imagine that.
I wish I didn't know how that worked.
It'd be funny, like, you go to Chris Angel and you're like, how'd you do the levitation thing? And he goes, bro, I actually am magic. And you're like,
whoa, it's even cooler.
And then here's the next part. I can teach you it.
I can teach you it. What? Even better.
You'd be like freaking out.
That's so funny.
So here, I got a question for you.
Okay.
What would be the top submission of the following characters? You have to answer in less than 3 seconds.
Oh, man.
Jack Skellington.
Oh.
Ooh.
He's got long limbs, though. But I think I like the idea of seeing a skeleton's limbs and bodies, and I feel like I could break it at that point.
That's his attack.
What?
His attack. Well,
he gets one?
What's his signature move?
Oh, geez, knee bar.
Knee bar. I was picking Darce because he's got really thin arms that are long.
He's got long arms. Oh, I guess so. You gotta close it up. I just figure his long legs against somebody's body. Like he's got leverage to go deep across their back.
All right, lightning round. Next one. One of the guys from Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters? Oh, Ghost Escape.
Or you could do a loop choke
with
their proton beam.
Oh, proton gun, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is this a submission or a jiu-jitsu technique?
Either or.
Okay.
We'll be pretty flexible with it.
Okay.
The Thriller beast from the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
Oh, geez. Cross-collar choke with his jacket.
Wait, that's how you beat him? No, how is he
I'm sorry.
People?
Oh, a guillotine.
A guillotine?
Yeah, and then as he's like arching back, he's going, oh.
All right. Voldemort.
Oh, Voldemort? Oh, arm triangle.
Why an arm triangle? Why is that his move?
Because I get around his wand.
No, you're Levi. What's his
I feel
move?
like I'm surviving against these people.
No, what's his move? What's his signature move?
Wrist lock. He seems
like
a guy who would wrist lock people. Why do you think that though? Okay, now I got it. Because it's samurais with their swords.
Yeah.
See, they have the wand. They come through and wrist lock it. I made it a thing.
I like that.
I thought it was him just being mean, just wrist locking people. But no, it's like he gets past and wrist locks them and gets their wand out of their hand.
Oh, best answer yet.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd be great at Family Feud.
Freddy
I wouldn't actually.
Krueger. His signature move is
cross-collar choke.
Why? He can't get his fingers in there. He's got blades for hands.
Yeah, but it's like blade, like a Wolverine type thing. Maybe. I don't know. What, he's got blades for hands?
Remember, doesn't he have the
like the little
claws?
Blade
oh,
yeah, that would be
doesn't
tough.
He have that?
Triangle choke for him then.
Oh, triangle choke.
Because then he doesn't have to rely on his feet.
Yeah. And he could still poke him. Jeepers Creepers guy.
I don't know the Jeepers Creepers guy. Oh, is the Jeepers Creepers guy this scary scarecrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, the crucifix position.
Oh, okay. That fits. I think that's legit. That's legit.
Oh, there's actually the scarecrow. What's the scarecrow? There's an actual move.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, you've seen it. It's like omoplata where you collect the far arm and bring it over their back.
So it's not a real move.
If people who are playing fantasy jiu-jitsu.
I'm throwing hot takes.
But if they pull the arm back, that's like a scarecrow position apparently.
I'm gonna say it's totally a legit move. But
omoplata.
Yeah, it's
I've
legit.
challenged that on people before too.
I will admit, I bet you if someone's really good at it, I can get caught in it.
For a couple times.
Yeah.
I'm always one of those people where it's like, it has to be long term. Like, I don't think I could get caught long term unless you're like insanely more advanced than me in general with jiu-jitsu. But if that's like your one move, like, I'd give it 6 weeks and you wouldn't be catching me anymore.
That's a good point. It's because it is funneled. Versus like an RNC never goes out of style. You will always get caught in an RNC. Yep. You'll always 100%. Get caught in heel hooks. You'll always get caught in arm bars.
Until someone perfects pressure points. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
That's it.
That would be it.
Okay, what's your question?
Wait, did I have one? Okay. What's funny was like, I was actually using my resource of ChatGPT to help me out with jiu-jitsu themed ones. But the funny
I used my wife, so this
works. Funny. The last one was, one of them I had was, a vampire offers to grant you unmatched strength and speed for a grappling match, but in exchange, your stamina is drained quickly.
Oh my God. Welcome to my life.
I was like, this is Matt.
Yeah, I've already made that deal, bro.
It's so funny.
I already made that deal.
You've exposed me.
Yep, that's it.
That was so funny.
That's how I'm stronger than most, but I have...
Okay, you accidentally unroll an ancient grappling mat.
Okay.
Releasing a mummy's curse.
Ooh, okay.
Now, one of your limbs becomes wrapped and immobilized. Which limb would you sacrifice for a match, and how would you adapt?
So for the match, I have this limb wrapped up?
Yeah, it's like mummy bandages come out and like glues it to your side, and now you don't have that limb. So you've got to pick a limb.
It's gonna be stuck to my side?
I don't know. Do you want it off?
I'll do it free.
What are you talking about? Okay, but it's free.
I have a post still.
Okay, what does it say? Now one of your becomes wrapped and immobilized. So it's immobilized. So it's stuck. Okay.
Shoot.
So it's stuck to your side.
Wait,
ancient mummy's curse.
Mummies like this?
What's that?
Mummies are like this, I thought.
Sure, Matt. Whatever you want. Do you want it across your chest? What would be harder? Would you rather have it on your side, or would you rather have it across your chest?
They both would suck.
Yeah. So first you have to pick an arm.
Okay.
And then you'd have to tell me how you would adjust in a grappling match.
I'd probably do my left arm.
Okay, sure.
And I would probably want it across my chest. I feel like it'd be less likely to hurt my shoulder that way.
Sure. Yeah,
and it gives me space between my chest and my opponent's chest, even though I can't really use it.
Okay.
Versus across my side, it's freaking useless pretty much there.
That's true. Yeah, you probably roll pretty well then too.
And then honestly, I'd probably go for some type of leg lock game, because a lot of takedowns you need both arms, so I'd probably have to play guard. I'd start playing guard.
Yeah,
go for a shin to shin, because I can do shin to shin with one arm.
Okay, so if you immobilize your left, do you typically do like straight ankle locks with your left side or your right side?
I'm actually pretty agnostic with it. But I would rather...
Is that the word for it? Agnostic?
Yeah, I just don't really care. I'm whatever side's there, I'll take.
Felt like a belief system episode. Like, I'm pretty agnostic.
I'm pretty agnostic about which straight ankle lock I'll use. I try to be pretty open. I'm
open to all kinds of
I'm open-minded. I
want to find someone who's very
bi-ankle curious.
We got a t-shirt right there.
Bi-ankle curious.
I'll go for either one.
Actually, no, funny enough, though, if I wanted to really break somebody's ankle, I'd probably wrap around with my left. My left, I think, is actually my stronger ankle breaker.
That would be not. And then, so you probably could still go singles to collect one, right?
So that's where Or
would you play guard?
I'd actually, weirdly enough, if I could get them to play guard and give me a knee shield, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because then I'll just drop back. I got to start doing that again. Now that I'm getting ready for a competition, everyone, I'm sorry, all my cheap moves are coming back out of the bag. I got to use all my go-tos.
Would you feel okay doing a cheap move? Would you feel okay with that?
Yeah.
In your definition of a cheap move?
I was just saying, instead of working on beating the knee shield like I've been doing lately, I'm stepping back for like a leg lock.
Oh, you're just dropping back to do it?
Yeah. It's not like actually cheap. It's just I was doing it a lot and I was catching it on a lot of people, so I stopped.
You gotta catch it on Jordan.
Yeah, I should try.
Have you caught it on Jordan?
I'm never standing in Jordan's on his back. Like, that's happened once when we were drilling. And that's about it.
That. That's funny. The guy's got magnets for hips.
Yeah.
It's not just
his
like
feet
negatives.
are magnetic to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I think he's actually got one of those suspension jackets on all the time.
I think I would do the same thing, my left arm.
Yeah.
But I think I would do triangle chokes.
Oh, fair.
I'd work on one hand and play a clamp guard or grab one hand and find my way eventually there.
I think
Granby's. I can Granby pretty well then.
You can maybe arm triangle. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's about ducking underneath that arm. If I can get that arm around and moving, I think I could do that. There's actually drills I think we talked about a while ago, and I've seen some gyms do it where you roll with a tennis ball in your hand.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny because this is also a hot take too as we wrap up this episode that I wonder how beneficial that is. Do you think it's beneficial?
No, unless you're injured. And if you're injured, I think wearing a boxing
I
glove
think
might
I think
help,
it's
or
fun. There's some moves and some training methods that's fun to break the mold when it's just, I should say, repetitious, because obviously people are coming in and learning a skill set, but at the same time, it's like it's fun to just randomly do some silly kind of game.
Here's what I think. I think if you're doing a drill that limits a body part's ability to do something,
Yeah.
it should be because there is a problem with the way you're currently using that body part
Yeah.
against your opponent. And the example here could be maybe your like loose passing game, or
Yeah.
like they're really dominant on just like, I have to grab something before I can move forward. Then I think making them hold on to something that doesn't let them create a grab would actually be possibly beneficial for their development.
Yeah.
Or if you're just doing it for fun, whatever.
Well, it's fun, but to say like I've got 12 weeks prepping for a tournament, let me just train without some sort of Miyagi thing. Like I'll limit it. I don't think it would just magically give you this ability.
This is where I'm going to be my old man about this and be like, that's BS.
It just, I love our positional drills. I think that's the closest thing you're going to get to.
That's good. I love the positional
focus stuff, but anything past that, on top of that, you could probably target some things too, but.
I think task-based games are legit. I think they're fun. I think they're a good workout.
Yeah.
I like that we can also get done in essentially 60% of the time.
Yeah. And what's fun is that both people are working things. Now, you got rear naked choke them, and they got to stop it.
I'll admit, even though I'm still like relatively junior in my development as a jiu-jitsu player, I think that most of the time when we're repping techniques, I'm not getting much out of it.
Sure.
Unless it's something like I've never seen, right? When we're doing like false reap stuff.
Yeah.
When I was new, it was like everything was new. And I thought that was like, okay, that's really necessary.
Yeah.
I think I said last week when we were talking, I get 10 times the development out of the positional drills than I do out of repping.
Well, and that's good too. I think there's a good mix of, I think that's what's like Danaher and Greg Souders. There's a mix because I think it's like we talked about, like, if we had each other in a room for 100 years, could we come up with some of these innovations of things?
Totally.
I'm just saying to say you'd have to have a framework of saying how to adjust things or how to do things, or let's say it would take a very long time versus someone who already has these insights and going, hey, here's 10 other tools that you could use and go, oh, I never thought about that, and go, okay, cool, thanks. So
sharing best practices.
It's like what we talked about a little bit, more of a collaborative environment. Imagine if we had a class that said, you come in here and we're all going to collab about rear naked chokes.
I think that's an awesome idea. We should do that. No, seriously. I think that'd be awesome. What has worked for you guys? That's what I actually do at my job.
Yeah.
I get people together and I go, what have you guys seen for this? And I'll be honest, most of the time, it's stuff I never even thought about. Ends up being a really good solution.
Interesting.
I think that is the thing you got to do.
That's so funny. I just like randomly, hey, that'd be weird, huh? I'm like, oh, wow, maybe that would be cool. Some sort of collab.
Yeah.
Not like an open mat, but like literally a themed
We literally
class.
will get together and we'll go around the room.
Yeah.
Everybody has 10 minutes to present whatever it is they want to share on the topic.
Yeah.
And then we all
I think that gets weird
actions.
because then people always say it's people more experienced that you should be listening to, but it's like the buggy choke came from some white belt, basically, you know?
Yeah.
Some things, or it should say like from a spot of confidence, but it reminds me of scientists doing that. Like they'll all meet up and basically sit and hash out a certain
sharing best
aspect
practices.
or whatever to say, no, this works, and have this like, what's it called? Like
a forum lab. I'm trying to think of
lab sounds like we're all separately doing our things.
I think I feel like lab means like you're working on towards something.
We are, but like a forum is like a group discussion.
Yeah, that's true.
The jiu-jitsu forum.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But like a forum of
theory forum.
Yeah, but to be like, we're here trying to collab on
theory in practice.
Yeah, theory in practice.
That
it's funny because I remember always people say theory only gets you so far. I'm like, theory's the beginning. That's not saying just theory and we just leave it be. It's the idea that we have this mindset that we are open and exploring different possibilities. It's the chalkboard. You're trying things and at least having your brain be in a constant state of analyzing and trying things.
Totally.
But that's the first start. But it's application, if you don't have theory behind it, new things, like nothing else will change. But we're getting too deep off our Halloween
this
episode.
Is cool. Anyways, scary, spooky stuff.
Scary stuff. I would hope I wouldn't go get some sort of villain or monster like that, but yeah, it'd be bad. I would say probably the scariest person to go against in jiu-jitsu, though, is someone who doesn't seem like they're getting tired. I tell you what, I think that's always a scary thing for me.
I'm not very scary. I made that vampire deal, man.
Yeah. Give it 30 seconds and I'm good to go.
Yeah. If I don't beat you in at least a minute, we're done.
That's what I was thinking. Normal facing is such a scary thing in jiu-jitsu. The Jocko stuff of keeping a flat face. Because
I don't know what that's like.
You know what's funny? Lewis made a comment about you last night. And I was like, don't use swear words, man. But he said, we were talking about kind of concepts like that, like normal facing and just approaching live rolling. He goes, yeah, when I roll with Matt, like you can't tell. Like he's very straight faced when he's working on things.
All right.
So he was
that's good. Well,
but of all the people we have here, like he was saying you, like having the straight face.
I guess actually I'm not, I don't know. I don't know on my own face.
I think you have a good competitive mindset. I think you switch it pretty well. Like we're here to work kind of mindset. Not in a negative, but I think you have this is game time kind of thing. I'm here present and involved with this. So
depends
I think
who I'm versing to. If you're like giving someone so they can practice, you got to pay it forward versus trying to survive or versus trying to put it on.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. I actually did start doing a little cardio.
Wow.
I bought a fan bike a little bit ago.
I heard those are really good for cardio.
I liked it when I had one when I owned the gym.
Stuff?
So I've done a couple different intervals. Yesterday was the first time I tried doing 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off intervals for only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I almost died, Levi. I was literally coughing up a lung and drooling. I was like, it was bad. It was not flattering.
We were on a walk with Nimbus and he did his business and we were close to the house, like quick ran back with it. And I tried to catch up with Jill with the dog. And I was like so out of breath and it was like 2 blocks. And I was like, oh, this is horrible.
Running's hard, man.
I could tell her, I'm like, I don't know who runs for fun. This is just horrendous on my system.
I run away from fights. I run to them, baby.
I would run more, but I have that short left leg.
Yeah, it's probably not good for your hip.
So I've always seen people who have the Vibrams and like the whole, we're connected to the ground. I'm like, I'm a rare case in that sense. I always hate people who say those kind of things or I have this weird genetic thing or whatever. And I'm like, I just have actually misaligned femurs. I don't know.
Levi
running
legit
constantly.
Had some mechanical changes.
Yeah, mechanical changes. I should have been 6 foot, but my brother changed that. So I'm like 5'11 and a half.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't get that magic 6 number right there.
All right, I'm just shy of 6 as well.
I'm just shy of the 6.
Yeah, how tall are you? About shy of 6.
Shy of 6. You guys say, was it? Someone made a joke like, I'm 5 feet and 13 inches or something like.
That'd be funny.
Like, what? Like, okay, you didn't get that one.
I'm 76 centimeters.
76 centimeters?
Actually, I don't know how many centimeters it is.
Oh, that's funny.
It would be more than 76, though.
All right, we got to wrap this up.
All right, where can people find us, Levi?
TheGrapplingPodcast.com. I know we said this before, but I really got to attempt some of the MP3 stuff to get on Spotify because I think I'm afraid of losing some of the stats. So maybe I'll try with episode 1 to see what we can do with that. And then if everything's okay with that, then we'll switch as just so everyone can see us in every platform. But as usual, let us know about maybe your scariest thing in Jiu Jitsu or what kind of situation you would be in. And if you have any ideas, let us know. You can drop us a comment. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.